Right in the center of Toronto, under the towering shadow of the CN Tower, the Rogers Centre is undergoing one of the most dramatic stadium reinventions in modern sports. What was once the futuristic SkyDome is now being reshaped into a bold, modern ballpark designed to compete with the very best venues in Major League Baseball. This isn't just a facelift, it's a complete transformation. Massive high-resolution video boards now dominate the skyline inside the stadium. New asymmetrical outfield walls alter the physics of the game, and vibrant social districts bring a festival-like energy that didn't exist before. In its second life, the Rogers Centre feels less like a dome and more like a living, breathing baseball environment. But with every ambitious project comes the question, was nearly $400 million Canadian dollars spent wisely? Did the Blue Jays successfully modernize their home? Or did they trade away the iconic SkyDome identity for premium clubs, luxury seating, and revenue-driven upgrades? Fans are split, and the debate continues. When the SkyDome opened in June 1989, it was considered a miracle of engineering. It was the first full retractable roof stadium in the world, capable of opening in 20 minutes and seating more than 50,000 fans for baseball. Positioned beside the CN Tower, the SkyDome became an immediate landmark, a symbol of Canadian innovation and pride. For the Blue Jays, the SkyDome represented an era of domination. In the early 1990s, it played host to consecutive World Series championships, massive concerts, cultural events, and national celebrations. It was not merely a stadium, it was a cultural centerpiece. But as dazzling as it was at the time, the SkyDome was designed for an era of multi-purpose mega arenas, not intimate baseball experiences. After 2010, new stadiums emphasized nostalgia, asymmetry, character, and atmosphere. Fans no longer wanted generic seating bowls and concrete corridors. They wanted craft food, social spaces, and neighborhoods built inside the stadium itself. The SkyDome felt stuck in the past, massive and functional, but lacking personality. Complaints grew louder, and fan surveys consistently ranked the Rogers Centre near the bottom of MLB ballpark experiences. Replacing the stadium entirely wasn't realistic. Its location is one of the greatest in all of professional sports, sitting in the center of Toronto's entertainment district and connected to every major transit line. Demolishing the Rogers Centre would mean abandoning a priceless site, so ownership faced a different question. How do you reinvent a concrete-era dome into a modern baseball cathedral? That monumental task was handed to Populous, the global leaders in sports architecture, and PCL Construction, one of Canada's most experienced large-scale builders. Their goal wasn't to simply update the stadium. They were tasked with breathing new life into a building that millions of Canadians considered sacred. The project would need to preserve the stadium's identity while giving it a modern soul. Phase 1 began immediately after the 2022 season ended. Crews tore out entire sections of outfield seating, opened up dead spaces that had gone unchanged for decades, and removed layers of concrete that belonged to a different era of sports architecture. Toronto fans returning for opening day 2023 were about to enter a stadium they barely recognized. The outfield district was the hallmark of Phase 1. It introduced 5 unique social areas, including the Corona rooftop patio, with its relaxed summer festival vibe, Park Social, featuring lounge seating and casual games, and the reimagined WestJet flight deck, already known as one of MLB's best standing room party zones. Toronto's ballpark had finally discovered personality. For the first time in its history, the Rogers Centre received true baseball dimensions. Outfield walls were pulled in, raised, reshaped, and made asymmetrical, turning the previously uniform dome into a ballpark with character. Foul territory decreased, allowing fans to sit closer to the action. Every inning suddenly felt more intimate, unpredictable, and exciting. Phase 2 focused on the heart of the stadium, the 100-level seating bowl. Instead of simply swapping chairs, crews demolished the entire lower deck, including its structural foundation. New concrete was poured, aisle widths were expanded, legroom was increased, and the geometry of the seats was redesigned to give fans better angles and visibility. It was a complete structural rebirth. These changes reduced total capacity from over 50,000 to roughly 39,000, but the trade-off was worth it. Fans gained comfort that matched modern ballparks, and the stadium finally shed the multi-purpose stadium feeling that had lingered since the SkyDome days. With new cup holders, upgraded concourses, and wider seats throughout the level, even longtime critics admitted the improvements were long overdue. Luxury and premium experiences became major parts of the redesign. High-end clubs like the Home Plate Club and the Batting Tunnel Club introduced upscale dining, exclusive lounges, and behind-the-scenes access. Fans could now watch players take batting practice mere feet away. These spaces generated new revenue streams while giving Toronto the premium seating options that other MLB cities had enjoyed for years. The Blue Jays players also received a complete overhaul of their facilities. Toronto had long ranked near the bottom in MLB when it came to clubhouse size, training areas, and recovery rooms. The renovation fixed that. New clubhouses, expanded gyms, hydrotherapy rooms, advanced technology labs, and redesigned dugouts elevated Toronto's player amenities to top-tier status. The stadium's technology jumped forward decades. A massive HDR main scoreboard, more than 110 feet wide, now anchors the outfield. Bright ribbon boards span nearly the entire stadium. Concourses feature dozens of digital screens, and locker rooms have integrated analytics displays. Combined with the distributed sound system, the Rogers Centre now rivals the audio-visual power of the newest MLB stadiums. Environmental responsibility also shaped the project. Phase 1 alone diverted over 2 million pounds of demolished material from landfills. The Blue Jays were awarded MLB's 2023 Green Glove Award for achieving near-perfect waste diversion. Efficient precast systems improved construction speed while reducing environmental impact. The renovation proved that sustainability and modernization can coexist in major sports projects. When fans returned for the 2024 season, reactions were immediate and passionate. Younger fans loved the social zones, roaming freedom, and Instagram-ready views. Longtime fans appreciated the improved seating and clearer sightlines. Attendance rose, game day energy increased, and the stadium, once criticized for being cold and cavernous, felt warmer, louder, and more connected than it had in years. Still, not everyone is convinced. Traditionalists miss the simplicity of the original SkyDome, the affordability of the upper deck, and the massive stadium atmosphere that once defined Toronto baseball. Some argue the new premium clubs prioritize wealthier fans, while others believe the renovations were necessary to keep up with MLB's trends. The debate continues every game night. The project was originally announced at $300 million Canadian dollars, but as scope expanded, the real cost approached $400 million Canadian dollars. Unlike many stadium projects in North America, this renovation required zero taxpayer funding. Rogers and Blue Jays ownership absorbed the full bill, meaning the long-term success or failure of the renovation will directly impact the organization, not the public. Financial indicators suggest it was. Attendance increased, revenue from premium areas rose, merchandise sales improved, and the stadium experience gained a fresh identity. Players praised the upgraded facilities, and media outlets placed Rogers Centre far higher in ballpark rankings than it had been in years. For now, the project looks like a strong investment. But the bigger question remains: did this renovation extend the stadium's lifespan by 20 years, 30 years, or merely postpone the conversation about a new ballpark? Concrete-era domes like the Metrodome and Tropicana Field were eventually replaced. Only time will reveal whether the Rogers Centre renovation becomes a lasting success story or a temporary solution. What is certain today is that the Rogers Centre has redefined what a renovation can be. Instead of tearing down a historic structure, Toronto chose reinvention. Instead of chasing trends, it built a hybrid stadium that blends its iconic dome architecture with modern baseball sensibilities. In doing so, it set a new standard for aging stadiums around the world. The rebirth of the Rogers Centre is a testament to engineering, creativity, and the power of reimagining what a stadium can be. From a cold concrete giant to a lively urban ballpark, Toronto's arena has entered its second life with confidence. And if you want to explore more incredible engineering feats and transformations like this one, click the next video. You won't want to miss it.